Work on building HS2 is continuing during the lockdown. Protesters say they're willing to be arrested as they try to prevent trees being felled along the route. Dozens have been living in makeshift camps in ancient woodlands during the lockdown, where they say they've been isolating as though they're a single large household. Our correspondent Phil Mackey has visited one of the biggest camps.
OK, so we're right on the edge of Crackley Wood's nature reserve outside of Kenilworth.
Matt Bishop grew up near Crackley Wood and used to come here as a child. He's part of the original group of local protesters who began camping at other sites in Warwickshire last year, and he's now showing me around here.
Ancient woodland and our countryside is as precious a resource as our national health. You cannot just draw a line across the middle of the countryside and take out 108 ancient woodlands.
HS2 says the 108 figure is a huge exaggeration. Paul Faulkner is the chief executive of the Greater Birmingham Chambers of Commerce. He's a supporter of HS2 and says it has green credentials.
The amount of ancient woodland being taken down in its first phase of HS2 is about 0.01%. At the same time, HS2 is also aiming to be the world's most sustainable high-speed railway, and it's got a whole host of pro-environmental measures that it's introducing, and that's before, of course, we get on to the massive economic benefits that HS2 is going to bring.
I can get to the edge of the camp and right next to the fences erected by HS2 via Republic Bridleway. On the other side, there are CCTV cameras and contractors patrolling, watching for incursions. On this side, there are protesters using makeshift gantries and tree houses to observe the work going on. They recorded this oak tree being felled a few weeks ago. Now, most of the trees which needed removing have gone. I wasn't able to meet the chief executive of HS2, Mark Thurston, but I was able to speak to him.
We need to continue to protect people and have the right to protest, but at the same time, where we need to push on, we'll need to make sure if people are going to be on our sites, we respect those measures.
We're going to be broke as a country as a result of coronavirus. Wouldn't it be better to save the money that could be spent on HS2 and spend it on getting small businesses back up and going after the end of the pandemic?
Already there's some 10, 11,000 people working on HS2, well in excess of 2,000 companies. We see HS2 now having an important role as part of sort of getting the economy back on its feet.
Back here in Crackley Woods, the local protesters have been joined by others from groups like Extinction Rebellion. Among them is a former tree surgeon known as Quercus, the Latin for oak, who I spoke to as he made his way up to a treehouse 30 foot up, where he's determined to carry on protesting even though the bailiffs have the law on their side. Have you been arrested yourself yet?
I have, yeah.
Are you happy to be arrested again?
I wouldn't say I'm happy to be arrested again, but I'm privileged enough to be able to be arrested without it affecting me too much.
And when you look across over the fences there, you see all the trees that have been felled and you know that more will be. How do you feel?
Heartbroken, because you only have to look one direction and you see woodlands as Shakespeare would have seen when he was walking through the Forest of Arden, and then I look to my right and it's desolation.
While the outside world continues to be understandably obsessed with coronavirus, in this quiet corner of Warwickshire, the brook that babbles on its way past the bluebells and the bird song don't seem to have noticed. But the background hum of diggers is a reminder that the other side of the fence, the biggest infrastructure project of a lifetime, is taking shape. The protesters still say it's unnecessary and destructive. Its supporters say it needs to happen more than ever to kickstart the economy after lockdown.